Everybody going through divorce feels like they're financially starving. And I see this at all income levels. People that make $1 million a year, they're going through divorce, they feel like they're losing all their money. And people that are making, 2 teachers getting divorced, they feel like they are starving. And that's just because you've got a household that was built on the income and comfort level of 2 people. And all of a sudden, that same income has got to support 2 different households. So if you think a divorce is in your future, one of the best things that you can do is be financially conservative. Don't get any debt that you don't need to get. Really think about your expenses. Where can you cut? Where can you help to make sure that you are prepared to live off just your income? And what can you do to make sure that the debt that is being divided is as low as possible? Do not put everything in your name. I'll tell you, if you have an agreement, if you have a credit card with Chase Bank, the court can order your spouse to pay your credit card, but if they don't do it, guess who Chase Bank is coming after? Who do they have a contract with? It really matters. I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter whose name is on the asset. We can get it. We can divide it. And that's true. But you know what does matter? Whose name is on the debt. If you think you might be getting divorced, don't let all the debt of the marriage be on your name. During the course of a divorce, we collect a ton of documents. And it's a really good idea before you have your first meeting if you just have an idea of what your assets are. I will tell you, I see some people who come in, I love engineers as clients. They come in with a full spreadsheet. They've got all the documentation. It's all lined up. I have other people that come in and they seriously barely know what bank their primary bank account is in. We can help you in either direction, but it's very helpful if you have a general idea of what your assets are and how they're held, as well as what your expenses are. If you don't know, look at your bank account. Find out, how much do you spend eating out? How much do you spend on utilities? How much do you spend on your vehicle? How much do you spend on gasoline? All of those things will be needed at some point. And if you are still doing your finances together, if you have the ability to look at everything, find out how much is owed on the house still. What is the mortgage payment? The more that you know about your finances going in, the less work we have to do to find out, the less it ends up costing you. If you are about to get divorced, even if you're not the one who's been managing the money in the household, get copies of tax returns, bank statements, credit card statements. We do find out so much information looking at those documents as to the spending habits of the parties, as to the source of funds, and how much is going to be needed in the future. Fewer than 1% of attorneys in Texas are board certified in family law. Divorce is family law. So if you are looking to hire an attorney for your divorce, you want a law firm that specializes in divorce. You want to have somebody who's a firm led by a board certified attorney. I think you need 2 things when you're choosing a divorce attorney. Number 1, you need somebody who knows what they're doing. And the truth is that if the attorney that you're looking at does all kinds of law, they do immigration, they do contracts, they do real estate, and they also do some divorce, they probably don't know as much about divorce as they should. And the second thing that you need when you're choosing an attorney is somebody that you can make an emotional connection with, that's going to understand, and that you feel you can rely on, that they really get what matters to you, and that when they advise you as to what's worth fighting for and what's not, you feel like you can rely upon their opinion because they understand you and they took the time to find out what you were worried about in this divorce. In most cases, the strongest correlation that we see in a divorce is the longer it goes on, the more it costs. And also, the longer it goes on, the more traumatic and frustrating it tends to be for people. I don't want that for my clients. I want your divorce to be over as quickly as possible. Now, we're not going to cut corners. We're going to make sure that we've got a good inventory and appraisal. We're going to make sure that we've got a good understanding of the needs of your child and what you need to have spelled out in your divorce decree. But I think it's very important that from your very first meeting on, we're not looking at what's this big fight going to be like. We're looking at what does our client need at the other end and how quickly can we get there. Now, I know that if your divorce has gone on for 5-6 months, you're thinking, that wasn't quick. Talk to somebody who's been going through divorce for 15, 18 months. I don't want that to be my clients. We start working towards a settlement. We start working towards a working inventory and appraisal from your first meeting. I want your divorce to be over with the soonest that we can ensure that we're getting you the best results possible. I'm Ruby Bolton, the founding attorney of the Bolton Law Firm. If you have found this video helpful, please click below. We have more information that we'd love to share.